What age are you when things start like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna start drinking. I'm gonna start." What age does that start?
I remember very vaguely, like it was yesterday. I remember I was about second grade, and I remember I was out in the yard at my mom's house, and it was a beautiful day outside. It was like one of those 70 and sunny, breezy days, like the perfect day.
Yeah.
And I remember having this feeling, this terrible feeling, and it was like anxiety, and if you're a child and you have anxiety or anything like that, and you don't have a word for it, all you know is you feel bad.
Yeah.
You don't feel bad, and
Yeah.
so anxious that I went to a neighbor. There was a neighbor woman. Her sons had already gone off to college, but she was always really nice. She was like the cookie, like the person that made cookies in the neighborhood, that type of thing. And I remember I went and knocked on her door, and I said, she answered, and I said, I don't feel good. I don't feel right. I'm sad, and it was like I didn't have the words for it. That's all I knew to say. And
Wow.
I remember she brought me in, and she kept me busy. I remember we took like, silly putty and put it on newspapers, stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
But very soon after that, I I came across alcohol, and I remember the first time, second grade, third grade,
What?
grade. I remember that feeling. I went, I don't ever want to not feel this again.
Wow.
And I
You're a
set out,
baby. You're a baby.
yeah, and I set out to do that, and did a really damn good job of it until almost 4 years ago.
What? That's how long your journey was with alcohol and stuff like that? So, and forgive me for not knowing. So at this stage is I would assume your mom or John Jr., or is grandpa still alive at this at
Oh
part
yeah.
of this? When does grandpa die?
All right.
When does grandpa What's that? I'm sorry.
I was 30 when my grandpa died.
Oh, wow. So because I'm under the assumption too, he was a very he was a Jesus guy. He was a big which I learned as time went on. Like he was more God, Jesus, and
Yeah.
was everyone around you trying to intervene and trying to help, or was this like what was going on at that
No,
time?
not really. You got to figure it was '80s too, right? You know,
Okay, okay,
uh, let's picture late '70s, early '80s, and then coming into '80s. Like when Coke got so huge and all this kind of thing.
yeah,
You know, everything was excess. And when you're on the road all the time, when you're around all these major artists and their people, and you're on a bus, and you kind of get forgotten about because the production is huge. You're not,
right,
you know what I mean?
right, right.
So I found myself like there's several times I'll be talking to John Carter about something, and he'll be telling me a story, and I go, "Yeah, I was there. I know. I know. What do you mean? Why are you telling me this?" And I got to realizing the more and more that as I got older, and in my addiction started to take over who I was. So
Mm.
that I learned to kind of stay in the shadows, and just be quiet. And if I wasn't seen, then I could get away with pretty much anything,
Wow. Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
for a long time. You
Mm.
know, I remember being just black. I absolutely couldn't hardly stand up as a little kid, and nobody noticing just because they're not looking for that, and I'm not saying anything.
Check out the Bruniverse every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. If you can't wait till then, sign up for Patreon and get it 2 days early, along with other exclusive content.